Hello, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Simply Saturday, where I showed you a card that is fast and easy to make. Today, we are using the new stamp set called Bewitching. Now, let me tell you, this stamp set, designer series paper, and the coordinating punch just arrived literally within the hour. I was sitting here doing some work in my stamp studio, saw the delivery person pull up in front of the house and bring my Stampin' Up box to the front door. And I literally met her at the door, grabbed my box, and busted into it because I couldn't wait to get to these products. I'm so excited. So without even thinking too much about it, without very much inspiration, I am jumping in and helping to show you a quick card today using these products. So let's get started. What I did immediately is I picked a hat. So I chose the one with the little web here. So I popped it out and put it on a block. And also the little witch boots or feet. So I have those ready on a block, and then I figured I was going to use this little spider. So cute. Now, there are no word stamps in this set. So if you wanted a boo or a trick or treat or a happy Halloween, you would need to pull that from a different Halloween set. And my goal was to use only this product, actually the bundle. So we are going to use the coordinating hat, which is technically called Witch Hat Builder Punch. All right. So what I did is I grabbed some colored cardstock that to me is Halloween, which of course black and orange is very traditional. I also like throwing the green in there and the purple. So this is where I landed. I have a piece of which purple is this? This is Orchid Oasis. So I have a piece of this, and I decided to have it open this way. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored down the middle at 5 1/2. So that's going to be our card base. Then I have a piece of, this is not the right piece. Switch. I have a piece of Parakeet Party, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's just slightly smaller. This is going to be a layer on the front. Okay, then I dug through this brand new designer series paper. This is called Black and White Designs. And let me show you, per its name, it is all black and white, but it's got all kinds of different designs, all in blacks and whites. Okay, without pulling it all out, you can see there's one side, and then I'm going to flip it. Well, let's see. Let's just get rid of that and show you the other side. Black. I would say it's also gray because it's like light black and dark black. So black and white, but clearly on the double black side, it's kind of black and gray. So I grabbed this one with kind of a chevron stripe and cut that piece to just be a strip for the front of the card. This piece measures 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 inches. Let's go ahead and attach some of our pieces. All right, so I'm gonna attach the Parakeet Party to the front. The actual card is super, super fast, but we are gonna do a little bit of coloring with Stampin' Blends. So that is going to take up most of the time of this card, okay? But still fast or still easy and relatively fast. All right, so there is our Parakeet Party layer on top of the Orchid Oasis. Give that a good press. And then we're gonna add our striped paper, and it's going to go on the card right about like that. So we can go ahead and attach that. And then right now I can see something that I wanted to do before I glued this down. So I'll show you how we're going to remedy that. Sometimes your hands get going faster than your brain. All right, so I'm going to leave maybe about less than a 1/2 inch, a little bit more than a 1/4 inch of green showing on the left side of my designer series paper. Yeah, it's not quite a 1/2 inch. A little bit less. Okay, that's on here. So this is what I was going to tell you. I'm going to put this little hanging down spider on the green paper, and I don't want to get any on the purple on accident. So to do that, since I didn't stamp it first, we're just going to grab a Post-it note, and I'm going to protect my Orchid Oasis layer by laying that down there. See that? So this is just a little cheater version. I should have stamped it first, but that's okay. All right, and I'm gonna get my black ink onto my little hangy spider. He's so cute. And stamp it right here. Hold it down for a second. Let that cardstock soak up the ink. There we go. So yes, you can see if I didn't have this down there, I would have had a black dot on the purple paper, which I did not want. All right, so there we go. That was an easy fix. All right, then I did not mention that when we get to the inside of the card, I have a piece of basic white to make a panel for the inside. This is also 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I am going to put a spider on this page as well, or this piece. I'm just gonna do that to protect my surface underneath. And I think this guy is gonna, well, let's have him hang from the same side. We'll just match what we did on the front. And so spider number 2 is hanging from the corner there. All right, and that piece is going on the inside. Then we have our stamping, coloring, and punching. I'm so excited to do a lot with this stamp set. There have been some things that I've seen on websites and on Pinterest. So I am starting to get inspired, but I haven't seen that much yet done with these products. So as I mentioned, this one is just off the top of my head, but I know as soon as I get even more inspiration, I'm going to want to case some other cards. Okay, there's that. Now I've got some scraps of basic white to do our stamping. So let's stamp the witch's hat. And I don't know about you, I like fun and cute Halloween stuff. I'm not really into like the scary Halloween stuff, but I do like the fun, cute Halloween stuff. And it was fun when my girls were little. We had a lot of fun with cute and fun Halloween decor and dressing up and so forth. And now I'm getting to do it all again with my adorable grandchildren, and it's so much fun. Okay, that is a cute image. I love it. I like the little spider web print on the hat. Let's go ahead and color that, and then, well, we're in the middle of stamping. Let's just stamp. Okay, here are the which, are these shoes or boots? I think they're boots. Witch's boots. And I'm getting them nice and inky as much as I can. It is a very solid stamp. So I already have in mind what we'll do if it's not quite as dark as we're hoping. Let's see what we get and see if we need to fix anything. Okay, I just realized that at the beginning of this video, I think the neighbor's gardener was here because it was kind of noisy. Now that it's quiet, I'm realizing. So I hope that that wasn't annoying at the beginning of the video, hearing that lawnmower. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. This isn't quite as inky black as I wanted. I could have stamped this with my Stamparatus, then I could have repeat stamped it, but I did not do that this time. So I'm gonna take my black Stampin' Blends. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the dark, and I'm actually just gonna color on top of the stamped boots. Let's see if this is gonna work. I'm sure it is, because I just want these filled in to not look white and kind of grainy. I'm being really careful to not get too near the edge of the image because it is stamped nice and crisp. So I don't want to mess that up. But see how that is filling it in? So I kind of think it's necessary. All right, so as I'm coloring this, and I told you this would take the most time on our fast and easy card, the coloring. And I suppose it's a toss-up. If I had got the Stamparatus out and used it and re-stamped these boots a time or two, that would have taken a little bit of time. Or filling them in. Look at the difference. Isn't that a big difference? Or filling them in, as I'm doing now, is taking a teeny bit of time, but that's okay. It was probably about the same amount of time. The Stamparatus would have been more precise. I'm having to be super careful that I don't mess up the stamped image by going outside the lines, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I've kind of color corrected the boots, and now that I'm here, I feel like the stockings need to be a little bit darker, like that. Okay, you guys, you saw it here. I've never done that before. Filled in a black stamped image and made it darker with my Stampin' Blend. How about that? Okay, so let's do Orchid Oasis Light for the stripes. Now these are very new Stampin' Blends, so they are still super inky, and my tips on both the bullet end and the brush end are really beautiful and precise. Let me show you something. Let me grab just this scratch paper. I don't want Post-it. Okay, here's just a piece of white scrap paper. You can see when you lay down some color with a Stampin' Blend that it kind of expands. Did you see that? And so when being aware of that helps you know that when you're coloring, you don't have to get right to the very edge of the outline, because the ink from the marker is going to expand and kind of fill that in. So even on these stripes, I'm almost just doing one little line down the middle and letting the ink fill in the rest. Oh my gosh, it's doing a really good job of showing my example. Okay, there we go. Then let's make those buckles green. It's a tiny area, so I am using the bullet end of my marker. Like so. Okay, we are going to fussy cut this, and then we're going to color our hat. So to do my fussy cutting, it is kind of an intricate design, but what I'm going to do is attempt to cut close to the image, not too close. I am leaving some white. And as I've mentioned before in my tutorials, when you're fussy cutting like this, you want to move the paper more than the scissors. So I'm using my left hand to turn and guide the paper more than I am worrying about moving my scissors, if that makes sense. All right, when I get up here to the top, I'm just going to come straight across, and it's going to be easier to free this from that piece of paper so I can get in here. And same thing, I'm going to come down, I'm going to make a straight cut at the boot, and straight again. But now I'm going to ease into this curve by turning the paper, come around the toe, turning the paper. Nice sharp scissors are really essential when you're doing fussy cutting like this. I came up into the area here under the arch, so I need to mimic that over here. Come up under the arch and then come back out around the heel and then straight across. Okay, I'm super happy with that. You can get a lot more technical with cutting if you like to, but that is great. And especially for a Simply Saturday card. All right, let's get our hat colored and then we will finish putting this together. I'm going to start with the dark Parakeet Party and I'm going to outline this area of my hat, and as I'm going around, I'm being very careful to not go too close to that black line because the ink is expanding and it's going to fill it in. If I go too close to the line and it expands, it's going to look like I colored outside the line. And for this project, I don't want that look. All right, so still just doing some outlining. Now I want to point something out that I hadn't originally noticed before, and that is that part of this punch is the hat band. Can you see that? So I could punch that out and attach it instead of coloring, but today I am just going to color. Okay, but I didn't even really pay attention to what that was in the beginning. Now I've got my light Parakeet Party and I'm just going to fill in with the brush marker end. This is where it's fast. I'm pulling in that outline ink a little bit and I'm just kind of not smoothing it out. I think it adds a little bit of dimension to look kind of lighter in areas and not so perfectly filled in. Okay, so even down here, it looks a little pooly and there's some whiter areas here and darker. I'm just going to leave it. I think the shadowing is nice. Okay, then for the web part, I think I better use the light Orchid Oasis and color it in. So I did just kind of outline it. Ooh, there my ink bled a little bit outside the line. You know, on today's card, there's a lot of pressure to move quickly so that it qualifies for a fast and easy. If it takes too much time, it's not so fast, right? All right, now I'm not going to worry about that little part. I could grab my color lifter and try to take a swipe at it, but I'm really not going to worry about it. All right, now the darker Orchid Oasis. I'm kind of afraid that my black lines are going to disappear, but we're just going to go for it. So I'm just going to outline the black lines that are already there. And this way, and this way. Okay, same thing. I'm going to leave that alone. I think it's okay. Now I'm going to use my black, just like we did on our shoes over there, and outline the hat band. This is where, as I mentioned, if you wanted, you could just punch out a piece of cardstock, in this case, a piece of black, and glue on the hat band, and that would be magnificent. But we already jumped in today saying we were just doing stamping and coloring, and I did not punch a piece of black cardstock. So I'm going to take my light black and fill that in. I think I want the brush side. I'm going to pull in that outline ink. And go a couple times over it just to darken it a little bit. I like the Stampin' Blends, how they are layerable. So even with my light black, I can kind of keep going over it to create it darker and darker. All right, there we go. There we have our hat. Let's move on. I've got my punch. So I'm going to slide this down into the Witch Hat Builder punch. Okay, this little angle is causing a problem, corner, so I'm going to just chop that off. There we go. Now I can get it in there. I need to tip it, straighten it, punch. So there is the part that pops out. That would have been the hat band if we had wanted to. And look at those cute stars. I know they went flying, and we're not using the stars on today's card, but those are going to be super fun. Okay, here we go. We're going to glue. I am going to start with the feet and glue them down flat. So I'm using liquid glue. And I want them, kind of in the middle of the card, and I want the feet hanging off the designer paper just a little bit. I like how that looks sitting against the solid green paper. And then let's do the hat. Are you already imagining this with other colors? Oh my goodness. Or just coloring the opposite of what I did today. There's going to be lots of looks that we can do with this. Look at how cute that is against the black and white paper. Okay, I just did the hat right over the legs like that. And now I feel like it needs one more thing to dress this up. So I'll show you what I did. I took this gorgeous metallic mesh ribbon. This came out last year, but it's in this year's catalog as well. So this is in the 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. I only need about 5 inches of this. And it's kind of a strange trim or ribbon. Like, I remember thinking, I don't know what I would ever do with that. And last year when Halloween came around, I started using this on my projects. It looks so neat. So I was super glad that I still had a lot left over. All right, so I've got a couple inches of that. And then I've grabbed the Parakeet Party metallic woven ribbon. I'm gonna cut a slice of that. And then let's also do, it's not within reach. Okay, I gotta grab my black and white ribbon. So hold on one second. We're gonna do what I've been calling a messy knot. It could also be called a shabby chic knot. But when I do this on my projects, I like to use at least 3 types of ribbon or trim. And I like them to all be very different. So something more natural, maybe a piece of twine, a pretty ribbon, whatever you choose. This third one is the gingham ribbon, the black and white gingham ribbon. So whatever you choose, I like them to be very different. And all you do is you lay them all together in a bundle, and you're just gonna tie a knot. You've seen me do this before if you've watched my videos for a while. And I just love the look of the mixture of color and textures. Super, super cute. All right, so we're gonna take a glue dot, squish that knot from my messy knot or my shabby chic knot, press that onto the glue dot and release it from the backing paper. And now that's gonna stick right here on my project, like so. And then we're just gonna trim up these ends. There's really no rhyme or reason to them. I think I need to come a little bit shorter, and I'm going to trim this one and this one. The black and white one is fine on that side, I think. All right, so there we have pull it this a little bit. There we go. There we have our shabby chic knot that just makes this card pop as I continue to give it a little haircut here. There we go, like so. And look at, even without any words, it's clearly Halloween, but it could be a birthday card, it could just be a greeting card, it could be a thank you. You could certainly add more words on the inside if you want to. Let me show you as I pulled these products out of the box and got ready to film this for you. I did do one practice version, and on this one I flipped the paper to the other side, and that turned out super cute as well. So this has the black background and this one has the white. So that is our Simply Saturday card for today. I'm so excited to be starting to head into some of the holiday cards, Halloween, fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So be sure and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell so that you get a notification each time I put a new video up on my YouTube channel. And in the meantime, happy stamping, and I will see you next time. Be sure and look for all the great information in the description at the bottom of this video. When you open the description box, all kinds of helpful information is there for you. See you next time. Bye.